Yes, students, welcome you all to the session. So today, all these sessions, we used to recap what we have done in the previous class. For a change, let us begin with an activity. Of course, I can't do the activity like how we do in a classroom. So hoping that all of you are watching the video and you won't pause in between. I'm just conducting the activity. So wherever you are, take a sheet of paper and pen. So what I'm going to do is, last session we learned about the different computing machines, isn't it? About the history of computer. I'm going to display the images or the pictures of few devices which is related to the history of computer. You need to identify with a number. Okay, there's simple 5 devices uh, I'm going to display. Just take sheet of paper. So hoping that you don't pause in between and you don't take any help. This is just to check your remembrance, how much you remember the previous session. Just 2 days back, you learned it, and also you have written the assignment, isn't it? So, just for that, to recap on that, instead of me recapping, you yourself recap using and based on the activity. Okay, your time starts now. Take a sheet of paper, pen. If you are not ready, just pause the video, take all the required things what I said. Then we are going to start now. Okay, I'll just display the devices. Few seconds are enough for you to identify. You just need to write down the names of 5 devices. Yes, make a note of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just observing the time. I know it's not a live class, hoping that you attend like that. I'm just doing it. Think and write down the names of the devices. I know you can pause the video and take more time, but do it honestly. 5 more seconds. Yes, students. Anyhow, I'll display the answers. You can check your answers at the end of the session. Okay, fine. Now, instead of recapping on what we learned in the last class, that anyhow I'll do it in the at the end of the session. Let us move on to today's topic directly with the generations of computers. The last class I just gave an introduction. So computer generation means it is a step of advancement in the technology. It reflects the growth of the computer industry, isn't it? So how many generations are there? Yes, there are 5 generations. First generation between 45 to 1956, second generation 56 to 63, third generation 64 to 71, fourth is 71 till present computers, and fifth generation is present and future computers. Let's move on to the first generation computers. How were the first generation computers? When exactly the first computer was invented? What was the main device? Now today's computer, which is a basic component used in it, inside the CPU I mentioned, what do you call it as? Yes, microprocessor. But earlier computers were not like that. Vacuum tubes, you can see the picture, all these pictures are not there in the textbook. Okay, for your understanding, I just downloaded and I'm displaying it, but information definitely you have it in your textbook. The vacuum tubes were used in the as the basic component during the first generation computer. The first computer which was developed is called Mark I computer. This is called Mark I. What is displayed here is Mark I computer, which was invented in the year 1944. You can see it was a very huge computer. There were so many circuits were used. It was occupying the whole room space. But that is not complete digital computer. That was called electronic relay computer, or the Mark I computer was called electromechanical computer also. Okay, so this was not a complete digital computer. It is electronic relay computer, which was invented by Howard Aiken. Howard Aiken invented the Mark I computer, but that was the first computer that was mainly used for creating ballistic charts for US Navy. It was a special purpose computer. It was not used generally for all the applications. Mainly, this computer was used for US Navy for creation of ballistic chart. That was invented by Howard Aiken. The first generation computer, what is a basic component used for first generation computer? Means you need to write the name as vacuum tubes. These were the vacuum tubes. That is about Mark I computer. Again, during the first generation, the first complete electronic digital computer, the digital computer was invented is called ENIAC, ENIAC. That is a short form. The full form of ENIAC is, write it down in your book. ENIAC stands for Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer. I repeat, ENIAC stands for Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer. All these expansions are important. Okay. ENIAC is the first complete digital computer which was developed by J.P. Eckert and John W. Mauchly. These are the two scientists who invented ENIAC. Again, that there were number of circuits. What are the features of ENIAC that they could ask? What are the features of ENIAC? Means 18,000 vacuum tubes were used. Vacuum tubes is a basic component, but there was no single vacuum tubes. 18,000 vacuum tubes were used. 70,000 resistors were used. Resistor is also another component. 5 million solder circuits. You can see in the picture itself a lot of huge, so many tiny circuits are there. So 5 millions of soldered circuits were used in the ENIAC. That was a very huge computer. But this is the first digital computer invented by J.P. Eckert and John W. Mauchly. ENIAC expansion you need to remember. The features of ENIAC, the 3 points what I have displayed, that you need to remember. This year and all not exactly required. This is not in history. What you are learning? You are learning computer science. But the device and who invented that, what are the features of it, that you need to remember. Which is the first complete digital computer? Means ENIAC. That you need to make a note in your book. Okay. During the first generation itself, the next computer which was invented is called EDVAC. EDVAC stands for Electronic Discrete Variable Automatic Computer. EDVAC stands for Electronic Discrete Variable Automatic Computer. That was developed by John von Neumann. John von Neumann invented this EDVAC. It stored memory technique, that the use of mercury delay lines. Okay, the conditional control transfer, that is one of the concept that was used in EDVAC. Even the basic device, the component used was vacuum tubes only. All first generation computers, the basic component used is vacuum tubes. But little modifications, advancement happened from ENIAC to EDVAC. That is about the EDVAC. The next computer during the first generation which was developed is called UNIVAC. UNIVAC stands for Universal Automatic Computer. Here the expansion, you can make a note of it. Universal Automatic Computer, that was developed by Remington Rand. Remington Rand. You can see the difference between the earlier ENIAC, EDVAC and the UNIVAC. So many advancements, changes in the model, just like how they releases different models, right? Different models of machines, or it could be computers or any other machines. So these are the advancement which happened from ENIAC to EDVAC and UNIVAC. Okay, this you can say UNIVAC is the first commercial computer with all advances. Commercial computer and the special purpose computer means you can use it only for specific purpose. But commercial computer means you can use it even for general purpose applications. So these are the 3 computers which was invented during the first generation. The next thing what you need to remember about the generations is the main features of each of the generation. They may ask, write the features of first generation computer. All those diagram and all for your understanding I have displayed. What you have to remember now is the main features of first generation computer. What are the main features? Vacuum tubes were used as a basic element. Next, magnetic drums were used for the memory. Now we use secondary storage devices, hard disks, CDs, DVDs and all, isn't it? But there during that time, magnetic drums were used for memory. Punch cards were used for input and output. Punch card, about the history, we learned it in the last class. The punch cards were used for input as well as output. Then low level languages are used for programming. And the last feature is the system was very huge and non-portable. These are the main features of first generation computer. You can pause the video, write it down, or you can take the screenshot and copy it into your book. These are all very important topics which is required even for the test and exams and for your knowledge also. Okay, the features are vacuum tubes were used, magnetic drums were used for the main memory, punch cards were used for input and output, low level languages are used for programming. The system was very huge and non-portable. Portable means what? You can easily carry it. You can move while moving also. You can carry, say, laptops and all. You can carry it, isn't it? Easily. But this was non-portable. They used to fix in a huge room. They could not carry the system. And the last feature, you don't write it as a main point. The processing speed was very low. Okay, the slow. And what were the different computers used during first generation? Mark 1 computer, next ENIAC, EDVAC, UNIVAC. These three expansions you have to learn. ENIAC full form, EDVAC full form, UNIVAC full form, which I displayed previously. Write down that and learn it properly. Next is the second generation computers. The second generation computers, instead of vacuum tubes, they used transistor as a basic component. You might have heard about a transistor. It is one of the electronic component which used as a basic device. This is one model of second generation computer. The COBOL and Pascal, common business oriented language. Fortran stands for formula translation. These two are the high level languages which was introduced during first generation. Low level languages were used. What are low level languages? Low level languages used only zeros and ones. They could type the information using only zeros and ones. Computer understands only binary language, what we call it as binary language or low level language. They used to type everything using zeros and ones, which became tedious. With the advancement in the technology, they introduced the high level languages. High level languages used English like words with little bit of translation softwares. Okay, about programming languages, you will learn it little later. What you need to learn about second generation is high level languages were introduced. COBOL and Fortran were the beginning high level languages that was introduced. So what was the main features of second generation computers? Write down these points. Transistors were used as a basic component. Magnetic core was used as the main memory. There are two types of memory, isn't it? Primary memory and secondary memory. During first generation, magnetic drum was used as a primary memory. Here, magnetic core used for the main memory. Then magnetic tapes and magnetic discs are used for secondary memory. Okay, magnetic tapes and discs were used for the secondary memory. Then high level languages were used for programming. These are the main features of second generation computers. Moving on to third generation computers. Third generation computers, introduction of IC chip. You might have heard about IC chip, integrated circuit. Jack Kilby is a person, you can say he gave a major contribution in the field of technology. Although so many resistors, capacitors, vacuum tubes, transistors, number of circuits can be fabricated on a small chip, what we call it as IC, integrated circuit. Jack Kilby, he introduced the IC, where with the help of which the size of the computer reduced to a large extent. Earlier they used to occupy the whole room space. Number of soldered circuits were used. But what is the meaning of IC? Huge number of circuits can be fabricated on a single chip. Now everywhere, so many devices make use of chips, isn't it? So number of circuits was reduced to, of course, it's not only a single IC, several IC chips were used for the computation, that is processing, as well as storage purpose, calculations, everything. Okay. So These components were squeezed onto a single chip, and use of operating system OS, introduction of OS happened during third generation computer. Okay, you can just see a model of a system which was during third generation computer. What are the features of third generation computer? First thing is integrated circuits were used as a basic element. Mini computers were introduced. With the help of IC chip, the size was reduced. Rather than from the main big whole room space, the mini computers were introduced where the size was less, the minimum. Then computation time, the processing time was reduced from milliseconds to microseconds. The processing speed, the time was reduced from milliseconds to micro. Earlier, it was taking milliseconds in terms of few milliseconds. That was reduced in the third generation. Next, maintenance cost was low as hardware failures were rare. During first and second generation, they used to have huge circuits, soldered circuits. So the number of failures of the hardware means all the physical components, used to be more. That was reduced during third generation computers. These are the features of third generation computer. Means you need to write these 4 features. Is it clear? Fine. Next thing about fourth generation computer. Fourth generation computer, early fourth generation computer, the IC chip only, they have different modifications: LSI, VLSI, ULSI. What are these? I'll expand. You make a note of it, which is not given in the picture. LSI stands for large scale integration. LSI stands for large scale integration. VLSI stands for very large scale integration. V stands for very large scale integration. ULSI stands for ultra large scale integration. What are these? This is nothing but advancement in the IC chip. Single IC, integrated circuit, was used in the third generation. They were able to fabricate more number of circuits depending on the advancement. They called it as LSI, VLSI, and ULSI. Huge number of circuits were fabricated. In the early era of fourth generation, LSI, VLSI, and ULSI IC chips were used. But later on, what is a basic component in the fourth generation computer? Means you need to write microprocessor, what even today's computers are using. So microprocessor is a basic component used in fourth generation computer. And here the networking concept with the help of LAN and WAN. WAN is internet. LAN and internet was introduced during fourth generation. What are the main features of fourth generation computers? More circuits on LSI, VLSI, and ULSI chips. Next, introduction of microprocessor. The microprocessor was introduced during fourth generation. Then use of chips for the memory. RAM, how do we, RAM is a primary memory. How is it available? As a chip, isn't it? So use of chips for the primary memory. The cost of assembling reduced. Assembling means so many parts are there. You are going to put it in one place. So that cost was reduced. And easily portable. Portable means PC. PC means personal computer. Now you want to shift a computer from one room to another room. Is it a tedious job? Not necessarily. I mean, not exactly. You can easily shift from one room to another. I mean, one place to another. Portable. Okay. These are the features of fourth generation computer. Then hardware failures were negligible. Hardware failures were reduced to a large extent during fourth generation computers. Next thing is fifth generation computers, that is present and future computers. What is the main concept? Robotics and artificial intelligence is the main concept used in the fifth generation computer. They will be able to take commands in an audio visual way and carry out the instruction. Either you just instruct orally, it is able to take the instructions and perform the task according to our requirement. And many of the operations which require low human intelligence that could be performed by using these fifth generation computers. Parallel processing is one of the concepts introduced in fifth generation. Parallel processing means what? Simultaneously, it is able to perform many jobs, several jobs. So what are the features of fifth generation computer? You should make a note of it. Advancement in the networking technology. One more point is missing here. Introduction of artificial intelligence. That you write it as a first point. Introduction of artificial intelligence. Second point, you write advancement in networking technology. First point is introduction of artificial intelligence. Then advancement in networking technology, development of supercomputers, concept of parallel processing, development of robotics and assist human beings. These are the features of fifth generation computer. And once again, I'm repeating. So you just take the screenshot or pause the video and write down all these features. Okay. So this is about the fifth generation computer. Yes. Now we finished learning today's topic. It's time for displaying the answer for the activity which I displayed in the beginning. Yes. So those who have written it, just check your answers. First one is Hollerith tabulating machine. Second one is Napier's bone. This is. Third one is analytical engine. Fourth one is first mechanical calculator. That is Pascaline. Pascaline also if you have written, that is okay. Next, Leibniz mechanical multiplier. So these are the 5 machines which I displayed as an activity. Congratulations, those who have written it honestly and correctly. Fine. Okay, fine. Before we wind up, since other devices, quickly I'm going to recap on what we learned in the previous class, early computing machines. So we learned about the abacus, the slide rule, and Napier's bone. Okay. Then also that is the first mechanical calculator, which we call it as Pascaline, Jacquard-Loom, and this is Leibniz mechanical multiplier, which could do multiplication faster. Then Charles Babbage is called as what? Father of computers. He developed 2 machines, difference engine and analytical engine. Next, the introduction of punched cards, which was used in the Hollerith tabulating machine, which made the census easier in US. Then the Lady Ada Lovelace is called as the first programmer. This is about the history which we learned in the last class. Yes, today's homework is all these simple questions which I explained into this class. Name the first digital computer. Digital computer is ENIAC. Full form you should write. Okay. Expand the following. All these expansion you need to write. Then name the basic component used in third generation. Like this. These are all the first 3 questions are 1 mark. They may ask, name the basic component used in first generation or second generation. Name the basic component used in fourth generation computer. You need to write first generation used what? Vacuum tube. That's all. The first 3 questions are 1 mark question. So prepare all the generations. Okay, the basic component. Learn. Remember all the basic component used in all the generation. Next 5 marks, what questions are expected is write the features of first and second generation computers. 3 features you should write up. First generation 3 features, second generation 3 features. But in your notes, write down all the points. But sometimes what happens, they may ask 1 generation only for 5 marks. Then what you need to write? 5 points are required. Minimum 5 features you need to write. Okay. Write the features of first and second generation. Write the features of third and fourth generation. This is the homework for you. 5 questions I have given. Hoping that all the previous 3 homeworks you have done, I'm continuing it. This is your 4th homework. When you come back, date wise you need to show. Okay. Put the date. Okay. Correspondingly, the session wise also. Session 1, homework 1. Session 2, homework 2. Like that you have to update along with the date. Is that clear to you? Yes. Thank you, student. We will stop the session now. We will continue in the next class. Thank you so much.